Have you ever been around someone who sounds nice enough, but deep down, something feels off? Like, are guts telling you things don't quite line up? Have you ever had that quiet unease, a hunch that there's something shady lurking behind their grin? Carl Jung, one of the sharpest minds on human nature, talked about this idea called the shadow, the secret side of us we ignore, but it slips out in how we act toward others. When someone's hiding hate, envy, or bitterness, they try to cover it up, but not perfectly. The clues are there, small, but impossible to miss. Today, I'm laying out 8 dead-on signs that show if someone near you is secretly hostile, even if they're working hard to fake it. Watch out, because sign 8 is the sneakiest of all and might flip how you view some people entirely. Before we dive in, make sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss more videos on personal and spiritual growth. Alright, let's get started. The first sign is contempt, sarcasm, and contempt. Sometimes hostility hides behind sarcasm or sharp irony. They'll toss out jabs or snarky comments, poking at stuff they know bugs you. But if you call them out, they hit back with, "Oh, I was just kidding, relax," or "Can't you take a joke?" It's sneaky because it leaves you feeling off while they play it off like it's all fun and games. Truth is, if their jokes keep hitting the same sore spots and leave you feeling small or embarrassed, it's not just humor, it's a hint of buried contempt. Jung said our shadow slips out onto others, often without us even meaning it to. When someone's always using irony to pick at parts of who you are, they're showing a piece of themselves they can't face. Imagine someone joking about your new haircut not once, but every time they see you. At first, you laugh it off, but after a while, it stings. They're zeroing in on something they know you're sensitive about, like how you look or a choice you made. That's the trick with this sign. It's not random humor. It's targeted, like they're testing where you're vulnerable. And when you say, "Hey, that's not cool," they flip it back on you, making you feel like you're overreacting. Over time, you notice it's always the same stuff: your job, your habits, your dreams. That repetition is the giveaway. Jung's shadow idea means they might not even realize they're doing it. They're mad about something in their own life, and you're the punching bag. So if their funny comments leave you feeling worse about yourself, it's not just a bad joke, it's contempt sneaking out. Subtle sabotage. If someone close feels rattled by your wins or progress, they might quietly mess with you. It's not always big and obvious. Sometimes it's bad advice, mixed up messages, or little slip-ups that pile up and trip you over time. A friend or relative who forgets to pass on key info, skips important details, or accidentally messes things up might not be as clueless as they act. If it keeps happening, especially at big moments, you've got to wonder if it's really an accident. Watching how often this happens can clue you in on whether they're secretly trying to hold you back. Jung said when people can't deal with their own flops, they might nudge others down to dodge feeling less than. Picture this: you're up for a promotion and a coworker says, "Oh, don't worry about preparing too much, it's no big deal." You trust them, slack off, and bomb the interview. Later they're all, "Oops, my bad." Or maybe a friend forgets to tell you about a party where you could have networked. Once, fine, mistakes happen. But if it's a pattern, like they always drop the ball when it matters most, it's not just clumsiness. They might not be twirling a mustache and plotting your doom, but these little moves add up, keeping you from shining. Jung's take is that they're jealous or frustrated with their own life, so they mess with yours to feel better. Check the timing. If their oops moments hit when you're about to win, that's your red flag. It's sabotage. Quiet, but real. Silent competition. Some folks can't handle you doing well without needing to one-up you. Every time you score a win, they swoop in to steal the spotlight or brush off what you did. Share good news. And instead of a "nice job," they pivot to their own story. Tell them you nailed something, and they're quick with, "Oh, I've done that too," or even, "Mine was better." This quiet rivalry comes from deep insecurities. They can't stand you shining because it shakes their confidence. If every chat turns into a showdown, there's likely some resentment simmering under there. Jung thought shadow projection makes people see in others what they can't build in themselves, so they compete or cut you down to skip facing their own weak spots. Say you tell a friend you ran a 5K, and before you finish, they're like, "Oh, I did a 10K last year, way tougher." Or you get a raise, and they jump in with, "Well, my bonus bonus was bigger. It's not just bragging, it's like they can't let you have your moment. You're excited, but suddenly it's about them. This isn't friendly banter. It's a tug of war you didn't sign up for. They're insecure, and your success feels like a spotlight on what they haven't done. Jung's shadow kicks in here. They're wrestling with their own doubts, but taking it out on you by turning everything into a contest. If they can't say congrats without a but or a story of their own, that's the sign. Their rivalry's quiet, but it's screaming resentment, apparent kindness. People who secretly dislike you might cover it with shallow support that doesn't hold up. When you're struggling, they downplay it or dodge helping. When you succeed, their cheers feel forced or just aren't there. It shows up big in life's key moments. If someone's always missing when you need them or shrugs at your wins, they might not really root for you. It's tricky to spot at first, but over time, their reactions to your highs and lows give them away. Jung called this ego dissociation. Some folks disconnect emotionally and can't genuinely back others up. Think of a friend who, when you're crying over a breakup, says, "Hey, you'll be fine," and changes the subject. Or you land a big project, and their "that's cool" sounds like they're reading a script. They're not mean outright. They'll smile and nod, but it's hollow. You start noticing they're never around when you're down. Or when you're celebrating. At your birthday, absent, got a promotion, a half-hearted "good for you." It's like they're phoning it in. Jung's idea here is they're detached, they can't connect because they're too wrapped up in themselves. Over months or years you see it. No real warmth, no real care. That fake kindness is a mask for not giving a damn or worse, wishing you'd fade a little. Hope you're liking this. So far, it's meant to help and spark some thoughts. If it's hitting home, subscribe to the channel for more like this. You can also toss a donation via Super Thanks below to back our work. We'd appreciate it tons. Now, on to sign 5, control, care, and control. Some try to run your life while pretending it's for your benefit. They're always telling you what to do, picking apart your choices, or making you doubt yourself. It's not about helping, it's about keeping you under their thumb. This can be tough to catch since it's dressed up as care or worry. The giveaway? How you feel after. If their advice leaves you shaky instead of solid, it might be manipulation. Jung said controlling others comes from a fear of their own mess. They boss you around to avoid their own chaos. Ever have someone say, "You shouldn't take that job, it's not right for you," even though you're excited? Or they nag, "Why'd you wear that?" until you second guess everything. It sounds like they're looking out for you. "I'm just worried," but it's relentless. They're not guiding, they're steering. You walk away feeling smaller, not stronger, like you can't trust your own gut. Maybe they insist on helping with decisions where to live, who to date, but it's always their way. Jung's point is, they're scared of their own messy life, so they micromanage yours to feel in charge. If their care feels like a leash and you're more lost after talking to them, that's control, not love. Watch how it lands. If it's tearing you down, it's not for your good. Criticism and gossip. Folks with bad vibes about you won't always say it to your face. Instead, they'll chat behind your back, spreading criticism or twisted stories. It's nasty because it hits you sideways. You might not even know till people start acting weird. If friends or coworkers suddenly pull away or get chilly with no reason, someone might be stirring the pot. Rumors, even stretched ones, are gold for grudge holders. They chip away at how people see you and slowly box you out. Jung said trashing others is often an unconscious trick to dump our own flaws on them. People who feel small or unhappy drag others down to feel better. It says more about them than you. Imagine you hear from a buddy, "Hey, someone said you're full of yourself lately." You're blindsided. Where'd that come from? Then you notice people at work dodging you, or a friend group goes quiet when you show up. Chances are someone's whispering. They won't confront you. They'll tell others you're flaky, selfish, whatever fits. It's cowardly but effective. You're left scrambling while they stay clean. Jung's take is they're unloading their own junk. Like if they feel like a failure, calling you arrogant shifts the weight. Look at the fallout. If folks you trust start acting off and there's no clear reason, trace it back. Gossip's their weapon, and it's a sign they're mad, but too scared to say it outright. Resentment toward your success. Real friends cheer when you hit a milestone. They're there for the rough patches and the wins, because your good news feels good to them too. But someone with a grudge, they can't fake the joy. You'll catch it in their flat. "That's nice." A quick topic switch, or brushing off what you did. Share a win, and they might go cold or flip it to themselves. That's envy or competition they can't shake. Jung said not being happy for others points to an inner fight. Your success reminds them of what they haven't done. They'll shrink your moment with lines like, "It's not a big deal," or "I did that once too." It's not just talk, it's a peek at their impatience. If they can't celebrate you and look annoyed instead, they're hiding something else. You tell someone you aced a test and they mumble, "Oh, cool," then start scrolling their phone. Or you land a gig and they go, "Nice, but it's not that hard. I did something like that ages ago." No smile, no hype, just a shrug or a jab. Real pals light up when you win. These folks dim instead. It's like your happiness bugs them. Jung's theory is your success pokes at their sore spots. Maybe they're stuck, and you moving up makes them feel behind. So they downplay it. Big deal. Anyone could do that. If they're consistently sour when you're up, like every win gets a yawn or a dig, that's resentment bubbling up. They're not just indifferent, they're ticked you're doing well. Hidden details, hidden hate, shows up in the tiniest ways, not in words, but in stuff they can't control. A weird glance, a fake smile, a sudden expression shift, or an awkward pause can scream louder than anything they say. They might try to play nice, but their body spills the truth. Watch for it, hands tightening when you mention a win, a voice tweak on a compliment, or eyes dodging yours at odd times. Jung said the unconscious and body don't lie, even if someone's faking it. The mind can wear a mask, but real feelings sneak out. If you feel tension or chill from someone, trust that vibe. You're catching something your head might not pin down yet. Spotting this takes a sharp eye. Words can trick, but the small stuff always tells it straight. You're chatting about a raise, and their "wow, great" comes with a smile that doesn't reach their eyes. It's tight, like they're forcing it. Or they say "good job," but their voice dips, almost flat. Maybe they look away when you're excited, or their hands fidget when you share something big. These aren't loud alarms, they're whispers. Jung's big on this. People can lie with words, but their body's honest. A clenched jaw, a quick frown they cover up, a silence that feels heavy, that's where the truth lives. You might feel it before you see it, like a chill you can't explain. Pay attention next time. If they're all sunshine vocally but their vibe's off, that's the shadow leaking out. It's subtle, but once you tune in, it's loud as hell. Hey everyone, if you liked this video and don't want to miss more awesome content about personal growth and the mysteries of the human mind, be sure to subscribe to the channel. Hit that button now and let's explore new horizons together. Tons of exciting stuff is coming up.